As a child, I was never an expressive person. I held in a lot of things in my heart. I had lots of thoughts running through my head, but I could not put it out. Like, I couldn't speak, I couldn't express myself, you know? And I felt like this was because my environment did not support me for me to be someone like, they didn't care to listen to me. They didn't think my opinion mattered or whatever. So I was not really an expressive person as a child. And sometimes now, as an adult, I see myself stammering. And I've drawn the crazy conclusion that the reason why I stammer is because I held in lots of things in my heart as a child. So now, when I'm forced to speak, because of course, as a human being, you have to speak, and when you're forced to speak, you sometimes I find myself stammering, and that is what I have drawn. That is how I have put it. And because I'm not a stammerer from birth, there are people maybe who just have the default from birth, but I was never, a stammerer from birth. So if I stammer sometimes when I speak, it's because I had this fear in me a long time. Like, it was in my heart. I wanted to speak, I wanted to always express myself, but you know I think my environment was being shameful about that. Is like, no, 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 you have to just keep it, you have to tone it down. Like, everything, nothing supported me to be very much expressive. And that is the way I see it. So now, when I now started forcing myself out, I had to force myself. I had to make sure that if I'm in a room, I had to like, it was a thing. I could not open my mouth. I would have things. Sometimes they could ask question in the class. I know the definition. I would define it in my head. Okay, now I've defined it. It's now the time for me to put up my hand and give out the answer. I have to talk to myself. I have to force myself. I have to encourage myself. Tell myself, okay, now is the time. Take this hand up. Raise your hand up. Answer it. Express yourself. You should do it. But guess what? I might not do it. I might just end up not doing it. That is how bad it was. But early enough, I understood that was very damaging to me, and I began to teach myself, to force myself to speak, because I knew that my environment was not supporting that, and if I continued like that, I would find it so difficult later in life. So I said to myself, you have to start talking. You have to try your best. If I had grown up in a very supporting environment where I was allowed to really talk and express myself, or encouraged to do that, I feel like I would have done a lot with that, because I naturally am someone who loves to talk. I think so. I think I'm naturally someone who wants to just express myself. But at some point, I was already looking at myself like someone who's an introvert, someone who does not like to talk. But my introvertness is not coming from, like, it's not natural, it's environmental. Some people who are introverts, it's not because it is by blood, they're not naturally introverts. It's they are environmentally introvert, like the things around them as a child, how they were growing up, things, or if their environment did not support them to talk, to express, and just ended up becoming introvert. Like, just became introverts just like that. It's not because they are naturally introverts. That is what I have come to understand about myself. I love to express myself, I love to do all of these things, but the environment where I grew up has forced me to become an introvert. And right now, I try and I force myself to put myself out there to speak more, because I know it's important. That is the reason why I'm doing it, and I've gotten so much better at that, and I give God the glory. But the introvertness is still there. Anyways, just saying, I could have some trace of natural introvertism or whatever. But my environment really supported me to, just be by myself and always suck in, always not want to be out there, don't put myself out there, always just keep everything to myself. And that is a very dangerous place to be. And I thank God that I began very early enough to counter that with everything in me. And that is the only reason why I'm able to even express myself a little bit now. And what I have concluded this time around is that from now on henceforth, I'm gonna say everything. I'm gonna express myself in the best way I can. Nothing will hold me down. You provoke me, I'm telling you to your face, I'm speaking to your face. I feel somehow about you, I'm saying it. Like, I don't give a shit. I must say how I feel.